We got a big one in Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, Saturday, 11 a.m. on the Deuce, ESPN2. Should be, wow, AccuWeather is now saying rain. Hate to see that.
Don't want that.
Mid-60s, blackout, like we mentioned earlier. Not a fan of the daytime blackout.
Yeah, is that a little bit weird? I thought
It
about
is a
that.
little
I'm going to be honest, looking at the schedule when it came out, the fact that it was Friday the 13th, it was a night game, you're on the telly, felt like the Tulane game should have been the blackout game.
October. It made more sense.
I mean, what, October, Friday the 13th, spooky. It is what it is. I'm not confident that it's going to look great, blackout at 11 a.m., but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird for me, but
You think we break 30 for the fourth home game in a row?
yeah. I mean, if you're talking rain, that changes things, but
That was just on the ESPN. I thought it was supposed to be beautiful this weekend.
I thought it was supposed to be nice weather as well. That's why
I mean, that
yes.
caught me real off guard.
I had it in mind that it was.
Yeah, if it's going to be
nice day.
rainy,
What sucks too, because like, as good and bad as this team has been, like good in the sense that like, hey, they're 8-2, like stop pitching, but also bad as in like, I don't want to win every game in the final minute necessarily.
I just can't handle it.
But like here you are 8-2 against SMU. You don't truly control your future in a sense. Like, UTSA's got to do some things that kind of help you out, but
Yeah, I mean, the most Memphis thing to ever happen would be for us to win out and then UTSA beat Tulane the last week of the year, and then those two teams play again in the conference championship. And then all this was for naught. The other most Memphis thing would be for us to win this weekend and then lay an egg against Temple the next week. Yeah, I don't know. AccuWeather says 61 and sunshine all day with 2%.
Yeah.
It's not raining.
Yeah, shut up,
ESPN.
I have a question for y'all.
Yeah.
what?
Y'all always like to make fun of me about what I wear at games.
Bro,
You wear the Adidas hoodie?
What should
Kenny's
I wear?
been blackout hoodieing since August, the Bethune
Not-
game.
Not a blackout hoodie at the USF game. I was sweating in a t-shirt.
I think a hoodie would be fine this weekend.
Is a hoodie okay?
Hoodie's good.
Yeah, it'll be. Let's see. Friday night the low's 40.
Okay.
60 is the high. Saturday, come 11 a.m. It's probably gonna be mid 50s. It'll be a little nip in the air. It's always a little breezy in the potato chip. I think a hoodie's. I mean,
especially down low.
I
where
might
it
be
gets
wearing.
really
I don't have.
swollen.
I don't know that I have anything black Memphis, to be honest with you. And this is a dark gray.
Anthracite, I believe is the color you're looking
I
for.
have an anthracite gray jersey, but ever since one of our friends' wives said that that's just grown men. Anytime a grown man wears a jersey, it's just them in cosplay, and I don't really wear my jerseys.
Yeah, I don't care about that. It means nothing. I'll be wearing my black jersey.
I might throw that one on.
That's a hater talk is what that is. Wear your jersey, Trey.
I don't know. I like this hoodie a lot.
It is nice.
Shout out to Oxbow. That's where I got it. All right. The line opened, I think it was 5.5. It's now up to 8. A lot of folks believing in the Mustangs. Over under set at 66.5. The Tigs are plus 275 on the money line. I know a lot of people feel like this is a blowout. SMU's been winning their conference games big. They've played nobody. I don't have a ton of confidence going into this game. FPI gives SMU a 74.2% chance to win on the road, which seems crazy. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think it's going to be a shootout, and their defense is better than our defense.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's going to be the blowout people.
I mean, you're not going to be able to turn the ball over 4 times like you just did at Charlotte. That's for damn sure.
No. I don't think it's going to be the blowout that a lot of people are kind of expecting it to be, right? Like, what we see is SMU is beating some teams pretty handily. Well, it's kind of a difference in offensive philosophy, in my opinion, right? Like, this is kind of like if Norvell were still here.
Well, and having a defense with a pulse.
True. Their defense is stopping some people, but
I think Ryan said it today, their offense and defense both, and get it, some of this is who they've played, whatever.
it's definitely who they've played.
Statistically, they're both top 10 in the nation, defensively and offensively.
They have not beaten a team with the winning record, I don't believe.
That sounds like somebody else.
That's my point. If you look at our schedules combined, or look at what was it, opponents' wins versus losses. Their schedule has 50 wins, 70 losses. Ours has 59 wins and 60 losses. Do with that what you will. I'm not saying that Memphis plays a harder schedule because they played TCU and Oklahoma. Granted, they lost both of those games. We played Mizzou. That's kind of our tough. SMU is probably our other tough one, right? I mean, Tulane's.
They're
winning.
We should have won that game.
They're a top 25 team and they're winning, so it is what it is. But
somehow they just keep winning by 2 every week. I don't know.
Look, it is kind of is what it is. I think where SMU gets a little bit more credit is they are taking teams like Charlotte and not letting them run for 200 some odd yards on them and run up the score late.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, as should we. We should not be letting Charlotte run for 200 some yards on us. These are the 2 top scoring teams in the conference. SMU averaging 40.5 points a game. The Tigs are at 39.7.
That's a wash, right?
I think so. I mean, I think both of these offenses can put up numbers.
Yeah.
Again, I think the difference is going to come down to the defenses. SMU's giving up 16.5 points a ball game. What does that feel like? We're giving up 29 points a game.
Yeah. It's kind of wild to think about, right?
It's just like, if that's, I mean, to me, it's going to be one of those classic 45, 38, 35-ish.
Seems kind of low.
Shooty out.
Maybe not.
It's going to be one of those classic 65. I think it's just going to be up there, right? Like, I think you're going to have to score 40 plus. What you've done the last 4 weeks, you're averaging 49 points a game. Yeah. Are you going to be able to do it on this SMU defense? If you are, you're going to have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, look, their defense is good, but this is the best defense the best offense, that they're going to have to face outside of Oklahoma, probably. It seems fair to say just by looking at the schedule. I mean, yes, they've shut down a lot of teams, but a lot of teams they've played have not been that great. They've had a couple that were a little bit dicey. I think the Rice game, off the top of my head, if I remember that one correctly, did not get kind of close.
Yeah. Well, they ended up winning by 5, but that was after, I think, Stone and JT Daniel both got hurt in that game. The whole second, they were both out the whole second half, so that's kind of like
it's a wash.
Put an asterisk right there.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be more competitive than it seems like it's going to be on paper, right? Because you look at SMU and you're like, okay, well, they're blowing everyone out, and they're not.
It's the eye test, right? Like,
sure,
you look at SMU and what they've done to the similar opponents. I mean, they beat North Texas by 24 this weekend. Our other similar opponent in Charlotte, they won 34-16. Yeah, it's like those are both.
Well, they didn't have to
arguably
face Hassan Wilson. You know.
True.
No, whatever, dude. What are we talking about? It is going to be frustrating because I know that this is going to be a game where SMU does the same damn thing every game, right? They're going to roll out to the right. They're going to have a tight end in the flats and a guy 10, 15 yards behind him and a guy running a fly. Just a flood pattern to the right side of the field, and they're just going to eat us alive all damn night with the same play, and it's so frustrating.
I don't like that.
I don't like it at all. And they use their tight ends heavily, and, we struggle with tight ends. So this is going to be, consistently.
Gosh, R.J. Maryland, tight end, 355 through the air. He's got receiving in 6 tutties, 6'4", 233 out of South Lane, Texas, sophomore. We're going to have a day.
Yeah, running those pick routes like in what was last game.
Yeah.
Moving him across the field, and who was that? Barnett got picked off, left the dude wide open.
I mean, we're just leaving tight ends all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, what do the Tigs need to do to be able to pull out a dub on blackout Saturday morning?
Pray sounds like a good one. No, look, dude. For me, it's the defensive line. Like, I think the DBs kind of are what they are at this point. Like, you've gotten some hot and some cold with them, right? Like you're seeing bright spots with Simeon Blair. Cameron Smith, who started off not so hot, has actually kind of turned it on lately. I think he's been playing pretty well. The deep corners are kind of whatever. You got Tyron Taylor's coming in. He's getting some more minutes. I think he's playing well.
Yeah.
The linebackers, obviously, Jeff Canton just had like a 12 tackle, an interception. Chandler Martin needs a statue already. Like you're good at the linebacker core. The secondary is getting better. I know we just got toasted by USF. We're not too far from getting toasted by USF, but you had 4 takeaways in the last game. It's just your D-line is just not there, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You got talent. Jalen Allen, he's good, right? He's good. I think we can all agree on that. Where's Ellison been? He started off real hot. We haven't seen him in a while. Trench Baby, who else am I forgetting? I mean, we were supposed to have this super deep defensive line, and they're rotating all these guys so they can stay healthy and let them last through the game. Where the hell are they? 19 sacks on the year?
Yeah. You talk about sacks. I mean, that's going to be part of it Saturday. SMU is second in the conference. They have 35 sacks.
35 versus 19. Think about that.
16 more sacks. They're averaging 3.5 a game. I mean, you're going to have to protect Seth for sure. I don't think there's any way you win this game if Seth gets hurt again.
I'd be curious to go back and look at sacks allowed and how that has changed throughout
The season.
Yeah, because the offensive line's kind of bounced around a bit. And even last week, I think we kind of got a little surprise with Michaelan Pounders not being at left tackle, and Hill moved over.
Yeah.
So Hill's gone from right tackle to left guard to left tackle. Well, shout out to him. I think he's played well. I think the offensive line played well. And even though you had that stupid-ass penalty on Gildahouse, who filled in at left guard.
I mean, that was a real weak penalty.
Yeah, it was a real weak penalty, I know, but it was so dumb. But the offensive line's played well. Like, Seth is probably still going to be running for his life, correct? But
yeah,
I do think,
and obviously, I don't know. You can't turn the ball over 4 times.
Sure.
Create some takeaways. Score a bunch. Just score 1 more point than them.
You know,
just find another way.
Yeah, we say that as like a joke, but like, I mean,
find another way.
They just keep doing it.
Tulane's doing it. They keep winning by 2.
Kenny was talking trash to me before the game because I kept saying, like, you know, I don't expect Memphis to win necessarily, but I don't think it's going to blow out. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they do win. Like, they just keep finding a way to win. I mean, it just kind of is what it is.
I won't be shocked either. I'm not anticipating us getting blown out. I just don't have a ton of confidence.
This is the game that you listen. You win by 1 point. That's fine. You can't say that against Charlotte. Like that was trash. But against SMU, if you beat them by 1 point, that's all that matters. Win.
It is trash. I agree, but we're not too far removed from having a bajillion point lead on Houston with like 3 seconds left, and somehow you lose. Like, it's just it's different. Like, if you're going to find ways to win, it kind of is what it is. Yes, it's annoying. You should be beating these teams handily because you have superior talent than them. But as long as you're winning, like, it's hard for me to complain. Like, yes, it's frustrating and I can vent and get mad at it, but at the end of the day, you're still winning, right? Like, I mean, what are we complaining about? That we're not winning the way a previous coach won by scoring 60 points and letting someone come back, you know, and you win 60-50?
Although we've been up there, 44 plus last month.
I'm confused what the issue is, and I'm pretty sure it was Sane that had the. I know it was Sane. Sane had the interview with Gaston, and they're talking about is the Tiger football team like basically unfairly judged,
over scrutinized.
Over scrutinized was the word. Thank you, and I think that's very fair. I think they 100% are, and I think it's probably because everything we do we're taking and comparing to what Norvell did. Oh, the offense isn't as good as it was. No shit. This dude is unbelievable. Mike Norvell's built different. He took a team that was on the floor, picked them up, and they're undefeated right now, number 4 in the nation. Like, yeah, stop comparing everyone to Norvell. Like, what are we doing?
Gosh, we're going to Tallahassee next year.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work out for us.
That's spooky.
Maybe we'll have Mercy.
I was talking about that this weekend. I don't think he'd run it up on us.
Ha!
He loves Memphis.
Ha!
I I'm still hearing noises in the hallway. It
Yeah, I
sounds
don't know
like a
what
laugh.
that is. It sounds like a ghost in there laughing. I don't know what that's all about.
All right, Teach, give me your prediction.
What did you say the over-under was? 60 something?
66.5.
Does that not feel low?
It feels low, but I think they're taking into account SMU stopping us.
Is that one of the Thunder
No.
picks or 50-50 TJ?
I thought about it.
Take the over.
They're freaking
We
scared of
are-
Simeon Blair. at Liberty
We are
Stadium.
8-2 hitting the overs in our games this year.
Ooh, you might have just changed TJ's mind. Look
No.
at that.
What do you mean?
On your pick, on your 50-50 TJ pick.
Oh, no, my pick is already set in stone. I already got mine. That seems low for me. I do think it'll probably be I don't know their kicking game. They always got to work in field goals and stuff there, you know? They got 48. I could see it being 48-38 and they win. Like, I don't think a 10-point loss is.
I'm so mad at you right now
Why?
because you railed on me for saying they could lose by 10.
No.
You
Kenneth.
railed
No,
on me
Kenneth.
before the show.
You
before the show.
said the line would move to 10 points.
I knew you were going to go with a 10-point
You
win.
said the
I
line would
knew
move
it.
that far, and I said it started at 5. It's not going to move to double digits, all just
You
for no reason.
just blasted me, called me a bum.
That's what it was. It was about the line.
It was about the line moving 5+ points, which is absurd. That's what we were talking about. If it's a 10-point loss at home, that would be painful. I think Ryan's 4-2 at home as an underdog. I think we talked about that.
It does feel 10-pointy.
10-pointy.
I know. I know. I said I feel like we don't get blown out. Now I'm sitting here and I keep coming up with these 3-score games in my head,
Stop it.
like a 45-31. I guess that's 2-score, but like
gonna say,
I was
yeah.
gonna say 48.
Can't pick 48. I picked 48. I gotta text this to myself.
I'll say we just lose it, Tutty. I'll say 45-38.
That was the first score that came to my mind. And I was like,
SMU
I don't need
wins.
Kenny talking
Ugh.
trash to me, and he did it anyway.
I just don't have any faith.